Abukar. 1. O you who believe, let it be said. Abukar. 2. The sacred altar. The resting place of the divine. The doorway to heaven. And the 53rd name of Allah. The One. The Absolute. The Almighty. You know, it's just amazing how people would be at churches and then build an altar in there and have altar call and call that the sacred altar. When it's you alone, all alone, in your divinity. But you would think, for some reason they got the people thinking that you gotta come to a building where man built, when the sacred altar was already given in creation. But somehow, some way we get it twisted. And if we ain't careful, we always drifting from the truth. 4.
Beautiful.
Let the truth be now revealed concerning the most ancient city of learning, known as Al-Bakar. And that's pointing to self. Learn all about self. Who created you. And who you are. And where you stand. It says, let the truth be now revealed. 5. A city of such age and honor. It was Abraham himself who found the great city as a symbol of his covenant with Allah. Al-Bakar being the name given to the city by Abraham on the account of its first purpose and shape of the temple. 7. A circular temple and place of reckoning and respect of the cycle of the heavens. 8. The constellation and the movement of the sun, the moon, and all celestial bodies. 9. The first and most sacred temple in honor of Allah. The first and most sacred temple. 10. A great circular time piece that through the light of the sun and the light of the moon did record time for thousands of years. Using the shape, the shadow and shape of the temple called Kabaka, or the doorway of the Spirit of Allah. Thousands of years, not 1776.
Way predating.
Huh?
Predating.
Not 1774. But somehow, some way we got it twisted, and now we start at these dates. But we can't go no further.
See, and I like to point out this is where people get the idea of wearing a watch from. This watch comes from this happening right here. The time
Yep.
represents the watch. And they was tracing time thousands of years before a watch was even existing.
That's right.
And so now that thing, what they were studying now exists now in something called a clock.
Yeah.
And so what we think a clock is man's time,
Yeah.
a clock is actually the movement of the sun, the moon, and all celestial bodies. This is what we in as a being. And this was a purpose for those, that temple. And then I also understood that it was called Kaaba Ka. So the thing they have people circle today,
Yeah.
called the Kaaba,
Kaaba.
is not the name of it. That's actually the doorway. And that is a sacred place where they say it's called the doorway to heaven, or the resting place of the divine, the sacred altar.
The sacred altar.
So that Kaaba Ka right there was an ancient place of learning,
Yep.
where we get today the timepiece and the clock and everything that comes into understanding the calendar. And it's come from an ancient source that most people haven't heard, including myself, of Al-Bakar. This is not in the history books. Or this don't come on the History Channel. And somehow, unless they call them ancient aliens today.
Yeah. Yeah. See that? See that?
But this is what we learning from what we've been exposed to.
Ancient alien.
Yeah. Ancient
All that's the
aliens.
best y'all can do, ancient alien. And
Right.
use the term alien.
Right.
That's something foreign.
Right.
You don't even know who's that foreign. You hollering ancient alien.
Oh,
But anyway, be as it may. I guess you do what the best you can do with what knowledge you have.
yeah, that's the truth though.
11. While Al-Bakar was a place of ancient and great learning of numbers, of time, and astronomy, of language and culture, of history and learning.
Now, why we don't hear about this great
No.
remnants of this culture?
Yeah.
Sound like they brought a lot of science to the world.
Yeah. We can't get past getting started in England in the USA. That's the ignorance of the starting point of England. You heard the story of England and United States breaking away before they was all these other states, and just seeing a little history that they got together and plot and plan and then put it down in his history, their history for us to learn. And now we stuck in a rut at that point. Now ain't that a shame?
That's a shame. And including people taking a pilgrimage,
Yeah.
and they don't supposed to be taking a pilgrimage to just ambulate
Yeah.
the Kaaba Ka.
Yeah.
They supposed to actually be learning great learning when you go there.
That's right.
You're supposed to be learning some celestial
Not-
science.
Yeah, and not just touching a building
Right.
and all this here. That's why the insects today and the water flood and the hurricane and all that is swallowing it up. Cause the lies ain't gonna stand.
Right.
Yep.
That's very important. So all the numbers we use that we think is numbers
Yeah.
come from this ancient place.
Yeah.
Time that we no longer abide by come
That's
from
right.
this
Sure
ancient
enough,
place.
That's right.
Now they say time come from Greenwich, and this is in England.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So look at just how much they done shifted the narrative from the original point.
Yeah, boy. That's why you have to be careful, man,
Right,
and be a student of study.
right. Student of study.
12, a place where even the great priest of Yeb, Eliphatim, hour, did sometimes come for their study.
That's the people of Egypt.
Yep, coming from one place,
In
going to
Greek.
another, learning.
Mm-hmm.
13, to the descendants of Abraham in the city of Uba, the place was believed the most important earthly symbol of the first covenant and the closest doorway to heaven. While 14, while Al-Bukhar was for countless generations a place respected even by enemies of culture and knowledge. Enemies of culture and enemy of knowledge. How could you trust a country who deny you to read or write? And now you hang out with them and you fight with them and you join them with them and everything that's wrong. Oh yeah. We got to call a duck and a truck a truck. And forget all about your way of life and forget all about your culture and your holy divine names and adopt someone else's. 15, the false prophets of Syria known as Umar coveted it as a means of power and control. 16, there's Umar did take the sacred city and falsely rename it Mecca. That's where the insects are invading, and that's where the storms and all and the high waters taking place. The false prophets.
Yeah. To get a name there for me is very good for study.
Yeah.
The false prophet of Syria.
Yeah.
See, and that's a big one right there.
Yeah.
That false prophet of Syria. So now we know who came in
Yeah.
and did and changed the narrative.
That's right.
And so from this point on, this is where you want to have a keen eye to where certain knowledge is coming from. Because anything that comes from the altar is going to have the mind altar. And anything that comes from the descendants of Abraham going to be original and pure.
Right on.
And so in study, that's a good point to have, to know that the false the false prophet of Syria
Yeah.
falsely named it Mecca.
Yeah, that's right.
So the name we have now that is known as Mecca
Yeah.
is not the original name for one, and it was named by the false prophet of Syria,
That's correct.
who is called the Oof man.
The Oof man.
So he is the culprit that needs to be under the magnifying lens of where it comes to where does his false, because when they say false prophet,
yeah.
that means someone who's speaking
Yeah.
false words.
That's right.
And so these false words have been recorded.
That's right. For
And
the truth.
right, for the truth.
Yeah.
And now spread it out as scripture.
Yeah. 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 Well pointed out. That's right. And that tells you also that when you see Muslim and Christian and whosoever make their pilgrimage to Mecca, they in false error.
Right. They ain't coming back with this knowledge right here and
No,
telling the people this knowledge.
No. Because see, everybody is teaching and preaching the Mecca. And that's where it goes. Even the brothers over here that I met that come from over there to over here to go to school over here in the United States, and then they go back, and then the Muslim over here, they want to make their Hajj and go over there, and then when they go over there and come back, they got their chest stuck out and strutting their stuff like they done something.
Yeah.
And you can't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Oh yeah. So many things been renamed if you think about it. Just take a moment and think about it. That's why if you're in a true study, you will not find.
Yeah.
You just go by what man print, wrote, translate, and put it down to be the truth. Man, you are in for a surprise. 17. While no one who respect knowledge and the supernatural did ever dare to step into the realm of the Kabaka, Umar and the Yamiyah did desecrate this oldest and most sacred site of all Arab.
And see, now we know
Yeah.
the sacred site, who that sacred site belonged to.
Yeah.
Because of our previous study,
Yeah.
that the people who was called Arab was the Moor,
Yeah.
the Moab, the descendants of Abraham. And so the descendants of Abraham, this was their sacred site.
Yeah.
So someone came in and destroyed, when we were reading about the great conflict that came against the Moab people, that came against the Moors, just for clear concern, this is where all of the stuff started being scattered. And stuff started becoming Babylon.
Yeah.
But before Babylon existed, Al-Bakar existed.
That's right.
And seeing this is what we don't have is the knowledge of Al-Bakar.
That's right.
But now we have it as in the Sufyan.
Yeah.
But all other literatures leave this part of history out of it.
That's right.
And it started either in Mecca
Yeah.
or it started in Antioch.
Yeah. There you go.
It started in these realms.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this realm of Babylon, it starts. Mesopotamia, it starts.
Yeah.
But you don't hear Uber.
No, show don't. Show don't.
So they ain't use that as a starting point. So now this is the starting point of the Moors.
Yeah.
So now Moors need to understand their original starting point comes from Abraham, and Abraham done set it all up upright.
That's right.
Just as it said he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It said Abraham, when we got some literature that talks about Abraham, like Genesis, it talks about him building an altar.
That's right.
It talks about him honoring the Creator, and he was pure, perfect, and upright, and obeyed. So this city actually existed that Abraham did.
Yeah.
But they are calling it Mecca.
Mecca.
But they ain't calling it. This is the city that Abraham
Yeah.
established,
Yeah.
and all his descendants after. So this is their own. This is their property, and everywhere else that shapes like this exists is their property.
So now you see why the false prophets and the translators wrote and printed and did just what they did so they can deceive the people.
Yeah, false prophets. We was warned that that false prophets
And
were
had
going
the
out into the
audacity
world.
to put Holy Bible and Holy Quran, and the word itself, holy, just deceive you because of the fact that you would think the Holy Bible is absolute correct and the Holy Quran is absolute and correct. So now you on the road.
We should be able to sense what's not correct and what's correct, just with the gifts alone from what Allah has given us.
That's the beautiful part right there.
Yeah. 18. Cursing the name of Allah, closing the doorway to heaven by replacing a square room upon the foundation of the ancient circular temple. The ancient circular temple was a circle.
There it goes.
But yet, you squared up.
There it goes.
The Kaaba is a square.
The Kaaba is a square. They got people circling, doing a circle, which is the foundation
But that
to a square.
That don't make no sense. If you go circle it, it should be a circle.
It should be a circle.
You circling a square.
A square. That's the
From
error.
Delaware.
How you go put a square perspective in a circular existence?
And it's got corners.
It's not gonna work. So this is the ignorance they are making the people who are descendants of Abraham perform. See, because remember, they want the people to curse Allah. So that's a form of getting the people to curse Allah.
That makes sense.
By doing things ignorantly.
That's right. That's right. And you got Muslim, Christian, and Judaism doing the same old foolishness.
And this was never a thing. This is why it's reading about a true Muslim, showing you that it was a pre-existing understanding of this knowledge before Muhammad came on the scene. But as Muhammad came on the scene, this is where Islam came from. Otherwise, it wasn't called that just yet.
No.
But the word Muslim was still around. And when they hid this whole history, like I was showing Shay just a little bit of it, where I come to my newly understanding, where they unhid the whole history under this word called Hanif.
Look at that.
And this word Hanif is the ancient word that pre-existed a Jew and pre-existed a Christian.
Look at that.
And this word is now has formed into what we know as Islam. And the people of that, before it was called Islam, was called a Muslim. And a Muslim didn't have no pagan practices.
Look at that.
They was pure of the faith of Abraham. And it always been that way. But today's Muslim is not linked to the ideology of direct to Abraham. Because Ishmael is not synced to be a part of the divine covenant. So when it comes to the whole play out of this story, when it comes to Abraham and his offsprings, they are treated horribly. Ishmael is left out. Isaac is betrayed.
Yeah.
They steal birthrights, and that whole set of birthrights are stolen. So when we talking about this is what we reading, this is the true thing of what was told in that part of the scripture of the birthright. This is the narrative being switched. Just like with Esau, when he switched the narrative. Remember, his parents wanted him to have the birthright.
Right, and it was
So they dressed him up
yeah.
and had him receive the porridge when it wasn't rightfully his, when we know the storyline. And so this is where you have Jacob versus Esau.
Yeah.
But see, that is a whole mishap from all of this, what we read from the false prophets, from the ones who coming from both lines. See, and we did not know this.
Yeah.
See, when they say Islam, they come to perceive that Islam is new and it exists after Judaism and Christianity. But no, what invaded the land was Jews and Christians. The same thing invaded America today.
That's correct.
Is Jews and Christians.
That's right.
And they want us to convert to their ways,
That's right.
which is the false narrative.
Yeah.
So now this is what we're dealing with repositioning the narrative so people can be themselves. But all this history has to be known.
Yeah, right on. $19. Thirst. The altar of the ancient between heaven and earth since the time of the first civilization, and so a fitting and honorable place of worship of Allah. 20. A place destroyed and defiled by the Sabians in Umayyah under Umar, and with no respect to history and merely in pursuit of power and wealth. I just want to point something out here, just right here in the USA. You can see the same old methods to where they don't want the melanated people history be taught in school, but their history. And it's all about power and wealth. How can you deny another person his history, his culture, his flag, his song? But yet, you don't mind being somebody else's fool and sing their song and rise and have their flag hanging and flying all over your head and all in your homes and everything you could think of. Why? See? You see how deep, ignorant, and stupidity goes?
A long way.
A long way.
And for it to go this long, you gotta be able what? To keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret.
Because if it's taught on the mountaintop,
Yeah.
then it's no longer a secret. And so to have this spread for as long as it's spread is because it's been a secret.
Yeah.
And see, so this understanding the secret has been laid on the foundation of a square.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those who have an ear, let them hear. Those who changed the circle into a square, and now they say man stands on his square.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
It's only one group of people who worship a square.
Uh-oh. The Masonic,
There we have
the
it,
Masons.
which is the oof man.
Yeah.
The G is silent. The G, if you put the G in front of the oof man, you get the goof man or the gut man, or which is the God man, which is the G in the center of the compass and the square. We just read that this place was the ancient place between heaven and earth,
Yes,
which
it
means
is.
between the heavens and the earth, between the compass and the square, was not the letter G, but was the letter A,
Yeah.
all bakar.
Apical.
So now when we're saying why was the letter A there and why was that removed and put with the G,
Yeah.
because the G replaces the one, which is A, one, with the G7. Now you should be linking up in brains and the consciousness. You got a whole gang of people who
Yeah.
run nations called
Yeah.
the G7.
You might want to sit yours on this side.
Thank
There
you.
go. Yeah.
We got the governors, they call themselves the
Yeah.
G7.
See that? See that?
So this is the square
Yeah.
that's been, that removed the circle foundation by keeping the mouth or the index on the mouth covered. So this is what has been exposed by Noble Drew Ali already.
Yeah.
This is just resurfacing because they tried to suppress Noble Drew Ali.
Yeah.
So now, since that suppression has come, we now can understand who is doing the suppressing. The square, the boys, the square, the L7s,
Yeah.
the squares.
Yeah. And you could just see the lies in the people who are in power and control, who they call the G7. So we must turn from falsehood and deception
Yeah.
immediately. No delay, but do it today. 21. Now, only a pile of rocks in worship of the moon goddess of the Umayyad and a symbol of the worship of ignorance.
Worship was used. People worshiping a pile of rocks. That's the description. That's what's inside the Kaaba. They give you the description that a meteorite fell and that it's black,
Yeah,
and that's what's represented here as a pile of rocks.
look at that.
This is considered, this is what they done told the people as the narrative of the Kaaba Ka, to give them again the reason to be cursing Allah.
Yeah,
So now, for one, the people circle it in ignorance, and then now they circle it with this belief.
yeah,
And we know belief is the greatest weapon for good or for evil.
Yeah, because they remind me of that video of on the news. A man was saying that he found a hole in the beach. It was a perfect dug hole. And he had the lady on the news. He was saying he was a scientist or whatever. And he was like, a meteor, an asteroid or something that hit this area. And they found the fragment of it. There was a long little story about this hole that they discovered. And then it cuts where the guy that actually dug the hole got a whole video of him and his friends sitting there digging the hole. And he done came along and just done made up a story.
look at that.
A
About
false
this.
narrative. False prophets have
To
gone
get all
into
these
the
people to
world.
believe.
Yes.
Well, don't that remind you of USA, how they done change and switch the rule everything and they done lied so to they done run out of lies, but the people who have ears to hear believed it, and now they in for a ride. I mean, it's amazing
That's what
how you can
worship
trick
can do.
people. It really is.
The last words you just said on 21, worship of ignorance. Woo, that's
And
deep.
We do
That's
that.
where everybody at currently.
We do that daily.
The current state of truth is that the people worship ignorance.
Ignorance and live in ignorance and preach and teach ignorance and think they have the truth.
If you worship that, that's the whole.
Yeah. And that's part of the deception of getting you to believe it.
That's the great deception.
Mm-hmm.
The great square.
22. To curse the great city of learning, Umar has now called it Maku, which is in parentheses Mecca, and erected a square temple to his moon goddess upon the ruins of the most sacred circular altar of Allah.
All right. Now, watch how this syncs all together. Because that was a beautiful one. The great city of learning.
Yeah.
This why we don't have it in history.
Uh-oh.
Because to curse that great city, you would need to create a whole new literature.
That's right.
A whole new learning center.
Yes, indeed.
Where now you can do nothing but have those curses in those teachings and have everyone believing in these teachings as the foundation of the origin of the universe.
My.
And now, with it saying the moon goddess, do we understand what the moon goddess is today? Because as we go further in the Sufyan, it tells us what the moon goddess is and what the deity of the moon is.
Yeah.
And you will see that it's square. The thing that people worship today is square. It's rectangle.
Yeah.
Which is a square. An elongated square. See, this whole science of the symbol of square is for the ignorant. So this whole, remember they put the most valuable, this should bring it all together, the most valuable digits on a school rectangle.
Yeah.
They put the most lowest value on circular pieces. We overstand it.
Yeah.
So the 1 cent is a circular piece.
Yeah.
$1 is a square rectangle.
That's right.
$100 is a square rectangle.
That's right.
So if you want to be the richest of the world, you want a bunch of squares.
Okay.
So now that symbolizes the worship of ignorance.
Yeah.
Nobody want quarters or half dollars.
Greenback.
All right. Do they make a dollar coin? So boom.
I thought they did have
Well, they are silver, but
Yeah.
I mean,
They say a silver
dollar.
coin, a silver dollar.
But it ain't square though.
It ain't square.
It ain't square. It's round.
It's round.
See the copycat?
And see, that's less value than what we call value today. To show that the people are worshiping ignorance. But the ignorance they worshiping that's keeping them ignorant is the money aspect.
Yeah.
This is what's pinning them down and not understanding the great learning that was done on the planet. There was a great learning on the planet that all souls learned, and that was the celestial science.
That's right.
And this take time to learn. But guess what? If you don't learn it, guess where you're not going? You talking, the people say heaven. This learning is the doorway to heaven. So if you don't learn this, you don't have a doorway. What we have now, they have something in it called heaven.
Yeah.
But this heaven, it ain't got nothing to do with learning about heaven or how to get to heaven. It has to deal with dying
Yeah.
to get to heaven.
Yeah.
So once again, that's a square. A coffin or a grave or a cemetery tomb is square, rectangle.
Right. There you go.
So we keep laying out what we're doing.
Yeah.
See, we drinking out of cups, circular.
Yeah.
See, all these things
Yeah.
play a whole point to what we living in, what the pyramids are. All those are circles.
Yeah.
A pyramid is not a square.
That's right.
Most homes that we see, those are squares,
Squares.
rectangles.
Churches are squares. You name it.
Right. Anything that comes back to one unified point is a circle. And so this is what it said to us, that the most sacred or divine altar was a circle. And who come and bring us the circle of the seven?
No, but Drew Ali.
Not the seven of the circle.
Let it be known.
He put the circle back in front of the seven.
That's right.
The seven represents the square.
That's right.
2 sevens, 7 up and a 7 down makes a square.
Yep. That's right.
He put the circle in front of it. And the logo is a circle. So this is showing you that Allah has son. Even if we don't know, but when we come to know, the symbols and the truth can never be changed.
That's right.
So the truth is what it is. So as we come and bring forth, this is what we are to bring forth as we come to understand. It's a responsibility.
Right on. Right there. 23. Yet a false prophet, Umar, is not the only one to be held accountable for this most grave sacrilege, but the people who now celebrate as the city of Maku, which is Mecca.
That whole city.
Why you think it's being flooded and invaded by insects and all that?
Wrongdoing.
Yeah. I think they done forgot who controlled the wind, the air, the water. I think they done forgot who created it. "24. For Mecca did not fall in war or siege. The city of Maku was formed through treachery and dishonor against Allah." And that's all you see today in this country is being performed is nothing but treacherous and dishonor, lies and deception.
And personally, that's why I always wonder internally why I don't have a yearning a pulling to go to Mecca. Before knowing this, I didn't have no yearning or no pull to come. But they say all supposed to do it, but in my heart it's not no it's not no yearning or a major thought pulling. And now when you get to Sufyan, now it makes sense why.
And I'll tell you this too about you, is that the truth been with you all along. That's because you ain't had this journey.
That gift.
That gift. And remember what he said, he given us a what? A gift.
I'm glad y'all keep saying that.
Yeah.
Gift.
And go ahead.
Well, it's called the way, the Al Sufyan.
That's right. Second name of Allah. And you know how much you charge to go from here to there? $3,000.
Look how much money.
And look how much money they making. And you go there just for a lie.
For a lie.
You'll pay $3,000 to go and help worship and push forward and participate in a lie.
In a lie.
Oh, people, boy, we got to be careful. That's why the super keeps saying, oh, people.
Old people. Yeah. Old people.
Watch your step.
Yes.
If anybody out there listening, hearing what we say, the red flags ought to be going up everywhere. And you ought to find and see yourself in a graveyard condition. Is that where you want to be? I'm asking you a question now. Are you pleased with living a life of a lie? It ain't too late to turn it around while you still have breath, holy breath within. 25. The people of Makku did turn their back on the divine creator and invited Umar and the Yamayah to come. Oh, my Lord. Turn your back. Have you turned your back
Uh-oh.
on Allah? And not only him, have you turned your back on many other things? Oh, we good at that.
Uh-oh.
We turn everywhere but the right way. "26. The people of Makku did help Umar destroy the sacred altar of Allah." Look at that. Did help. See, you can help Lucifer in many ways. Anytime you join him, no matter what he has, and if you join him, this is what began to take place. And all I see is membership and association in this country. How about that? Are you a member of anything in this country? Membership. You've heard that word. Association. You heard that word. Do you know the medical field in the theology and all these schools that they go and learn and study and call themselves pertaining to the truth, and then all the universities that everybody got would take their last quarter and try to attend. And you think you're doing something. You becoming membership of the devil, Satan himself. Just look at the trouble in the land today with all these experts and professionals. You're an expert and professor in lies and deception, if you ask me. 26.
All these years.
Go ahead.
Yep, all these years. Look how long we ain't even know this. Thinking
Yeah.
Mecca is original.
Yeah.
Thinking any place of
Yeah.
what they saying is
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
Everything they say is from a false prophet.
It is.
This is why the teachings of Jesus said from the beginning they've been a lie.
Sure did. He did say that.
In the beginning they don't
He
know
did
nothing
say
of.
that. He did say that. He pointed it out clear.
Clear.
He did.
That's how they of the children of the devil, because their father was a liar from the
That's
beginning.
what Jesus said.
And this is offsprings carrying that out.
Sure enough is.
And we know for a fact it still exists because the philosophy is in most of our
That's right.
minds over here in America,
That's
at least.
right. Oh, we got it bad over here. And ain't nobody right but the peoples in America. And this what I noticed also. And everybody wrong. And then God don't bless nobody but America. And the only life that's important is America and Israel. Nobody else's life is not important. Just look at the killing going on today.
You might have just connected a big secret right there.
Well, I'm just
The
pointing
United
out,
States and
Yeah,
Israel.
I'm just pointing out what's going on.
That sounds like one on the east and one on the
Well,
west.
that you got a crook over here and a crook over there.
Uh-oh.
That's what that is.
Uh-oh.
And you caught right in the middle.
And there go your Shriners and Masons.
Yeah. And if they was about truth, you wouldn't have the mess that you have today. That's the all deception.
Yeah, we seeing how it all unfold today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they done destroyed the most sacred city.
Yeah.
Now, this is why they can't tell us about it, because it's destroyed.
Yeah.
This to show you they warmongers. This place ain't did nothing to harm nobody.
Nobody.
It wasn't doing nothing but learning and tracing the celestial body.
And that wasn't good enough.
So I guess it didn't have no economy, since it wasn't working for all its people, since it wasn't doing nothing. They would probably say they was heathens.
Yeah. A savage, you know.
A savage.
Yeah, they quick to call you a savage today.
See, and they doing divine work, celestial work.
Yeah.
And the whole people of these people are divine people.
Yeah.
And they need to be doing celestial work.
Yeah.
This is how everything is getting back to its normal. Where it was originally and always been.
'27. The people of Maku still serve darkness by willingly supporting Umar and his ignorance. Serving darkness. Is that where you stand today? If you're not in truth and in light? You're serving darkness. Willingly.
Willingly.
That's what it said. Willingly. You don't even mind being lied to. You don't even research or study yourself. You just hear it, then you go out and profess that what you done heard. And this is what I'm finding out. In books and stuff, just cause you read the Bible or read the Quran and you could quote it, don't mean you know the truth. You reading what somebody else wrote and translated. How about that?
That's it. That's it right there.
'28. Yet Allah is more than stone and a city.
There we go. Okay. Because that city gone now.
How about that?
So now how we going to worship Allah?
Yeah, what you gonna do now? And by the way, they just blowing up cities and buildings now. So ain't gonna be nothing left but rubble.
Exactly.
Look what you see in Palestine. Look what you see over here and everywhere you look at. Ukraine. Or you just go down the list. They bombing everywhere right now. Who created the bomb? The devil? Think about this. You know, I was just laying there this morning and I was thinking about how precious life is. How precious life is. And yet, the people have no respect for life, nor others. As though they created life. And it's all from Allah. But you have no respect for life. Ain't that a shame?
That's why the celestial science says, worship not anything made with hands.
Yeah, it did say that.
See, because all that could be destroyed.
Destroyed.
Then you ain't gonna know what to
Yeah,
worship.
that's right. In the twinkle of an eye.
In the twinkle of an eye.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're seeing it today.
Right. So we learning what to worship of Allah because all the sacred things of Allah has been destroyed.
That's right.
From
and covered up.
Yes, from these secret orders and these secret societies.
Yeah. And that's something else to think about. A secret society? What you don't want people to know? What secret? Is it something you're hiding?
That's the society we in, a secret society.
Yeah, it was built on that. 29 is finna get good now.
Mm-hmm.
The Christians. Anybody heard of them? The Christians built great temples of their belief, hoping this will instill favor with the divine creator. So you tell me you ain't pleased with Allah already done created, the temple that's Allah already created, but no, you ain't pleased with that. You got to build something. And that's another thing I noticed. Boy, it's hard to please people. They just ain't satisfied whatever they may have. It ain't good enough. You want more. More of the wrong thing and not of the good thing. Thirdly, the maniac built elaborate temples in the hope that it will be pleasing the dark forces in their hatred of Allah. Think on that. Who can hate the divine creator? I know.
It's just told
I know.
These two people.
I know.
These two people that keep invading people's lands and getting people to convert to their ideology called Jews and Christians.
Yeah. Imperialism.
Black people now, you hear these two words come out their mouth, they either think they Jews
or Christians. That's right.
It's just not the present day time to show you who are the invaders.
Yeah.
These people have not only invaded your land, but they have invaded your conscious land.
That's right.
And so now everything you know has been given by them. And so now all them is who is they, and they are the Christians and Jews. This is what most people believe like.
Yeah.
I even had someone who was the opposite of this come and tell me they a Jew. This is how strong the influence is when you don't study, that you can be on the opposite of this.
That's right.
But then with your mouth, you'll say that you a Jew.
Yeah.
But not knowing.
Yeah.
This is how incredible they have much hatred, that they have spreaded this much filth, that people call themselves ignorant names.
Yeah.
People that hate the creator, you would say that you them. Now, if you really hate the creator, then you are one of those.
Yeah.
But if you really don't hate the creator, then you not one of those. And this is what you want to be sure to say what you are.
Yeah.
Because these people come around and desecrate the divine creator.
That's right.
Ain't nobody desecrated the divine creator in my existence worse than the Christians and the Jews.
Yes, that's correct.
The things that we talking about now, and the people who just label as maniacs,
Yeah,
are the Jews.
maniacs.
Are the Jews.
Yeah.
So today, in our time, we don't know this, but unless we have the study that they have a covenant together.
They do.
And it's called the Bible, the Holy Bible.
Mm-hmm.
That's their holy covenant of the Jews and the Christians becoming one.
Yeah.
So while they making it seem like they not one to the people, they are one in behind or in secret.
Yeah.
Because they do everything in secret. They friends, but in public, they act like Republicans and Democrats. That's the same thing as saying Christians and Jews.
Yes,
same thing as saying Masons and Shriners.
Yes,
it's the same rigmarole.
Yeah.
It's Uncle Tom and Uncle Sam.
Look at
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And now that this is being said, that's why I said earlier about if you look up the study of Hanif,
Yeah.
that existed before a Jew and a Christian existed. And this was the pure way of Abraham, who existed before a Christian and before a Jew.
Yeah.
The Jew and the Christian based their theology off Abraham.
That's right.
So when I'm talking about what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about. When I'm saying what I'm saying. They stem their faith off Abraham, but Abraham don't believe what a Christian and a Jew believe today.
Sure don't.
So they believe in trinities.
That's correct.
And so that was never in Abraham. It's oneness. It's always been oneness, and it's always been purity.
Yeah.
And uprightness, and doing everything according to the instructions, not on your will.
Yeah.
This is what Abraham is about and what he left behind as a model.
So that's where that old false prophet come in, that the translator, when he come up with that Trinity thing.
Right.
And you can't tell a Christian nothing else.
Right.
He'll tell you quick, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The woman ain't nowhere to be found.
Yes.
I went to a Bible study one day, and I asked this question. Since everybody, first thing I did, because I want to point it out, did every man, it was all men at this study, and I asked them this question. Did any of them had a father and a mother? They all agree. But yet in Trinity, ain't no mother to be found. It's all male. And a little Holy Ghost to go with it.
Which is, yes.
But yet, you have a mother and a father. On this plane, in how you come to be. But yet you omit the woman. And then yet you silence her and she can't speak nor say anything. Who are you to tell a mother or any woman that? Tell her where she can't go and what she can't do. And she gave birth to you. Think on that. You foolish fool. Let's move on. $31, I think, right? Yet, what is the most sacred to Allah? Question mark. What is the most sacred to Allah? Do you know? Let's see. 32. Allah is every stone, every piece of marble, every piece of earth, as well as every living thing. Oh boy, we talking about creation here now. Oh, you didn't create that. None of that. That was living. You didn't create that. Won't you stay in your place, man? But I tell you what man will do. He want to destroy every living thing. What do you think them little nuclear bombs about? That's about destroying the living. And everybody got nuclear bombs in their backyard, ready to push the button. You foolish fools. Let's move on. 33. The earth is already the greatest temple to Allah, where you stand.
What he told Moses, take your shoes off.
Take
You
your
already
shoes
on
off, you're
holy
standing
ground.
already on holy ground. They were telling Moses that.
Yes, people think it's a place.
You think you got to go to
standing on it.
Jerusalem or Mecca,
You standing on holy ground.
and man, done changed everything.
Standing on holy ground.
You're standing on holy ground. You just clean up your filthy acts. That's what you do. Say the earth is already. Already. No need of nothing. Be grateful that you have an earth and a ground to stand on. That's what you need to be. And be grateful and thankful. That's why I said the most gracious, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Won't you be that, or try to be that? $34. It is the space of things that we find the most pure form of mind of Allah. That old corrupted mind that you have, let it be purified. Get that filth out of your mind. Filthy thoughts, dirty thoughts bring harm to the body, as well as the soul and the spirit. It said pure, most pure.
The most pure.
Be clear.
Most pure.
Most pure.
Form.
Not filthy. Not sinister. Oh, it's just so beautiful. Keep Allah close to your heart. 35. In the air and breath. Even the air that you breathe is pure. And they want to pollute the pure air. They want to pollute the water. They want to pollute the sea, as well as your mind, and your body, and your soul, and your spirit. 36. The greatest roof are the stars. If you ever been out at night and you look up and you see the stars, he said that's the greatest roof. But you done made it your mansion that you live in. That's the greatest roof to you because you caught up in the oblong square with the dollar bill and wrote on there, "In God we trust." That's your roof. It's going to cave in and fall in one day. I hope you know that. They build cars and they call it sunroof. That's your roof. You think you got it going on. Oh, what a foolish fool. 37 goes on to say the greatest light is the sun and the moon. But you done made it your wish for master.
See, and that's what we have to understand, how they done, the false prophets have messed up the whole understanding.
Yeah.
Because they'll tell you that you're supposed to be searching for the marvelous light.
Yeah. I've been caught up in that.
And see, so the greatest light can't be given by no lodge. It's already given by Allah.
Beautiful.
And that's the sun.
Beautiful.
So it ain't no light that no one should be searching for or chasing after.
Beautiful.
It's just actually waking up
Waking up.
to the truth of what is.
Yeah. And you know what? When you can't even see that light, Jesus reminded you that you was a light because he was talking about us, the light that sit up on the hill that can't be hidden. But you don't know who you are. You looking for a flashlight. And can you imagine if the sun didn't shine? It would be nothing but darkness.
So now we see where it come to seeking out the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
See, this is where this is how they crafted the craft of God, searching for God, where you don't need to search for God.
Yeah.
But they crafted a practice that'll make one search for the light.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that can take forever. And some people don't even get to the attainment part.
That's correct.
Some people seeing all that is false to begin with, if we knew the original starting point for everything, which is what we read now.
Yeah.
This is how it should open up in the beginning of Genesis.
Yeah. That's right.
Because it's talking about these same things.
Yeah, that's right.
But it ain't no importance pointed to it to keep you from being distracted from the secret society.
Yeah.
Because secret society needs you to be involved in their society for their secret to work.
Yeah. That's right.
They need participants.
That's right. That's correct. That's right. Partakers. Another word for participant is partakers, association, and membership. And it's a shame that why you can't be a membership of Allah or association with Allah and no other. That's why he keep warning you and have no other deity but one deity. And that's Allah. But you have many.
Yes, yeah.
You love your boss. your superintendent, your supervisor. That's your God. You don't replace the law. That's who you run to every day going to work in weeks. Let's move on. That the greatest temple, therefore, is one that respects the space, that sees the stars, that allows the moon and the sun. The greatest temple, it said, therefore, is the one that respects the space and all that you see around you. "39. Thirst the people of Yathrib would rather die than dishonor Allah." For it, the people of Yathrib refused to yield to the forces of the Umayyah and Umar. You know, we all been put through tests, and there'll come a time that you really have to stand like a man. Because they will test you and just see how far they can bend you. But you stand in the way of your divine creator and no other, regardless of what you're facing. 41, 2 more to go. Thirst, Allah bestows upon them the honor as being Medina and the new city of light. Okay. Something been bestowed upon you and you don't even recognize nor realize just what you possess. You're listening to the wrong people. Now we know who's in your ear now, because I see all your action. And I can tell you right then who you listening to by your ways and your action and your doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just who you serving. I'm forever grateful to be bestowed such an honor. Last one, 42. Here shall be the place of the new covenant with Allah. That grace, that mercy, that beneficence. Oh, how sweet it is. That's what been bestowed upon you. The question is, do you want it? Do you really want it? Or you want what Satan has to offer? The cars, the home, the clothes, the jewelry, and a host of lies. That's what men love today. And fast cars and jets to go with it. So maybe now we know what the altar, the true altar, the sacred altar, this is what we're talking about. The sacred altar, not the altar that built by man in his hand, that you go to the house of the so-called God and bow down in the church to the altar and to leave all your problems. When I used to go to church, they used to have altar calls, son. Yeah.
Altar
Yeah,
call.
they had altar calls. I don't know whether y'all aware of that or not. Yeah, they would have altar calls.
Altar call.
And that was to all the sinners who committed sin, that you can come and get cleaned up. Yeah. 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 Well, that ends my Super 66. And the sacred altar, by the way, is the 53rd name of Allah. Don't forget that.
Yep, and it means the doorway to heaven.
The doorway.
The resting place
The resting place.
of the divine.